Hello everyone. Today we have a different kind of review. You can see there's no hookahs on this table. There's no hoses on this table. That means that today we're doing a review on bowls. Different kinds of bowls. Standard bowls, luxury bowls, and bowls that you can just use every day, and also bowls that you just shouldn't use at all if you enjoy smoking hookah. So, let's get started with the first thing. Obviously, in the beginning, we want to get the obvious things out of the way. What are bowls that you just should not smoke out of if you consider yourself to be somewhat of a hookah expert and, someone who enjoys the art of hookah? Number one, don't smoke out of this. Anything that has silicone, glass, this is a Kalut Samsaris. When I started smoking, this is the bowl that I use a lot. And, I'm not going to say this is a bowl that didn't do its due diligence, but it turned 1 hour sessions into 20-minute sessions for me. This is something I'll use if I'm going outside, attach it to a 501 when I just want something quick out in the public, and if I'm going to a park or something like that. This is not something I would smoke with inside my house. So, it's Kalut Samsaris. Don't use it. Obviously, if you do use it, use a Lotus. Number two, bowls that aren't, great and that you should not use. This is a mid luxury bowl, they call it. I'm not sure what the components are, white clay maybe, but the overall design of it's a lipped bowl, kind of like the Hookah John Ferris bowl. It's a lip bowl that you can only use with lotuses. Has a very small area for tobacco. I've never had a good session with it. Maybe some of you have. Not something that I'll probably ever use again, in my opinion. Number three, and I hate to, put this one there because I love the way this bowl looks. I love the way it looks. It fits great on a lot of my hookahs, but is the Obloco Exeducia bowl. Obblocko in general, great bowls, but the Obloco Exeducia, or whatever model this stems from, is from one in which the glycerin leaks. You put a Lotus on this bowl, you put a Provost on this bowl, and you'll see that glycerin is coming out from here. And it just, in my opinion, it ruins the session for me. I hate when any bowls do that, and personally, a bowl that looks this nice should not do that. So I'll obviously will not be smoking out of this bowl anymore. And lastly, bowls that you just should not ever smoke out of. Bowls that look like this. There's just no reason for it. It's gonna take much longer to heat up. The inside is traditional type. You can people say, hey, I can smoke Russians and this stuff in these kind of bowls. Just don't do it. You'll get decent flavors. You might even enjoy your session. You're gonna get terrible clouds. I don't care how you pack it, unless you're dense packing it to the rim and slapping a Negroni on it. Don't smoke out of these. Now that we got those out of the way, let's jump into bowls that you can smoke out of, bowls that are good, and let's categorize them. We're going to categorize them by price point, overall performance, and in the end, I'll be giving at least my point of view of what I consider to be the best bowl in the market, considering price point, performance, and just overall in general. So, as you can see in here in front of me, we have a lot of different bowls. We have Kong bowls, alpaca bowls, Obblocko bowls, Ola bowls, Hookah John bowls, bastard bowls, and thick bowls. But there is a category we're missing here. That's the luxury bowls. We'll bring them out a little later once I've finished sorting out some of the more standard bowls that are here. So let's start with the Ola bowl. Ola bowl, great for lotuses. Definitely something, if you have the money for it, it runs a little pricey, but if you have the money, go for it. These are great bowls. Performs really well with lotuses. You can get custom designs on them. You can see, I have the Bangladesh flag here, so you can get custom designs on them. Made in Italy, handmade in Italy. Great bowls if you want to use it for lotus. So this goes on the do buy. Hookah John Raz bowls. In my opinion, when I had it in the beginning, it performed well. I still can't, really figure out, is this a Provost bowl or is this a Lotus bowl, because I feel like neither of them does really well on it. So due to that reason, I'm going to put it in the don't buy bowl. Next up, we have the Work Bun Zeus bowl. Love this bowl. Honestly, the surface, not too deep, performs well. Only issue it has is grommet requires a lot of effort. You might need to tissue paper this, but overall, great bowl if you want to use for Lotus. I've even seen a few people provost this, so pick your poison. However you want to smoke out of this. Runs about $30. Buy it if you can. Kong Lava Bowl. For a lot of folks, this is either the best bowl in the market or they absolutely despise this bowl. It's a great design bowl, has a traditional style. When I first got this bowl, I was always under the impression that this is a do not buy bowl. But recently I've been smoking a lot of Russians like Must Have, Dark Side, and I've been slapping a Negrani on this bad boy. So when you put a Negrani on this, you're unlocking a whole new potential for the Kong bowl. And when I've been smoking Russians with Negrani on it, it's been performing great. I get great flavor. I get decent clouds. Not as great as some other bowls, but decent enough to the point where I do like it. My only issue with this bowl, or just bowls in this type in general, is that glycerin tends to drip like crazy. So, be very wary that you might get glycerin and tobacco into your water. Your base might change color, and overall, it's kind of a nasty thing in my opinion. But overall in general, I do like this bowl. It runs anywhere from $40 to $50 depending on where you're buying it from, and yeah, it's not something I'll smoke out of every day, but once in a while I will use this. So if you're into smoking Russians, this is a great bowl to do it. Next up we have all reliable mini Rooks. Back when I started smoking hookah about a year ago, this was one of the first bowls recommended to me, and I can understand why. This is something that requires a little bit of expertise in my opinion. You can smoke this with Provost. I have seen people smoke it with a Lotus. I wouldn't recommend it. This is a Provost bowl, small capacity, blonde leaves and dark leaves, and just overall, if you want a reliable session, if you want something that will give you reliable clouds and you can something that is easy to pack on, Mini Rook is the way to go. Very cheap, runs about I believe $25 to $35 depending on what sites you're buying it from, and just overall an amazing bowl. So if you're I wouldn't say this is for a beginner, if you're like someone in the intermediate level, this is a great bowl to go for. Next up we have the Goodfella. My opinion, best bowl you can use if you're a Lotus smoker. And for a long time that's what I was. I was a Lotus smoker. And so this Goodfella has probably 100 plus uses on it by now, because it's just whenever I feel like smoking a good Lotus session, this is what I will use. It's never let me down to this date, whether I've smoked, Chaos in it or whether I've smoked, Starbuzz on it. Any kind of Lotus brands that I've ever wanted to smoke, Goodfella's the way to go. Well priced, around the, again, $35, $40 margin, depending on where you're getting it from, and overall an amazing bowl. And, I've been told you can Provost this. I've never done it, but overall, perfect bowl. Next up, we have the OBlocko. Now, you're probably wondering, why is there an OBlocko on the list when I just got rid of one earlier? The reasoning is that this is a different type of OBlocko. This is an OBlocko mono bowl. What makes these different is that these don't leak. They perform as well as an OBlocko will, but they will never leak. I've used this bowl over 50 times now, Provosted and Lotus, and look at it. Very easy to clean, no hassle whatsoever, and it doesn't leak. No grommet issues either. So if you want a great reliable bowl, they're a little hard to get your hands on, especially in America, but if you are able to, if somebody is selling this and if you're considering, hey, should I buy this? Absolutely, you should buy this. It's a great bowl. Next up, we have the Ola Dalmazia. Beautiful bowl. In my opinion, probably one of the best looking bowls I've ever seen in my life, Huge, nice angel wings on the side. Red and black, my colorway that I absolutely love. But I don't recommend this bowl. I know you might say, looks great, what can be wrong with it? In my opinion, I've smoked out of this bowl with all different type of HMDs, Negranis, Lotuses, Zeppelins, and I'll honestly tell you, I haven't had a good session on this bowl. This bowl will change the way your hookah pulls. It has some kind of, the way it's built, it's very hollow on the inside, it's huge, and it changes the way your hookah pulls. But to this day, maybe I've been packing it wrong. Maybe, I haven't used the right HMD on this. But since I've smoked out of this bowl over 10, 15 times now, I haven't had a great session. The clouds don't really, produce that well. The taste isn't really all that there. So in my opinion, for the price point of the Dalmazia bowl, this is a no-buy for me. Next up, now we have what I consider to be the four best standard bowls in the market: performance, price point, and just overall reliability. These are the four bowls I consider to be the best in the market that anybody can get their hands on. And so we're gonna rank these, you know, one through four. What are the best? In my opinion, the Ola Ade bowls falls to the fourth place. The reasoning being is not that it's an amazing looking bowl. It performs great. Nice shallow interior, very easy to pack, very easy to get right. They say it's made for dark leaves. I smoke blonde leaves out of this and dark leaves, and I think it performs well. I don't like smoking too much dark leaves out of this. I mostly smoke blondes out of this, but my issue with this bowl is after a few uses, when you're using foil and provost, you're going to start to notice that it's leaving marks behind. And I myself have tried a lot of different ways, and it's taken me anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes of scrubbing this with an adhesive sponge to get it nice and shiny again. That's not something I want out of a bowl. I don't want to spend 40 minutes, 30 minutes just scrubbing away at a bowl to make it look brand new again, especially when I've just bought it. But if other people have a better way to do it, feel free to DM me and let me know. I will try it out. But due to that factor, I rank this fourth out of the bowls that are currently in front of you right now. Next up, number three. Number three for me is the Stone Bowl. Not Stone, well-known brand out there in the market. It's reliable brand. It's considered to be I consider it to be a hybrid between a standard and a luxurious brand because how available Stone Bowls are. Now I rank this number three. No reason in general. I just think this works really well with blonde leaves, not too well with dark leaves. But with blonde leaves, you can't go wrong with this Stone Bowl. It works really great. Nice, shallow interior. Just smoke straight. Now, these two bowls right now, in terms of standard bowls that anybody can purchase, these two bowls, in my opinion, are 1 and 2. Thick being the number 1, the Bastard Bowl being number 2. The Bastard Bowl falls to me in number 2 just because it's a little deeper of a bowl, a little more difficult to pack, in my opinion, and the amount of time it takes for the Bastard Bowl to get heated up is quite a lot. You might be pulling for 8 to 10 minutes before you start getting meaningful clouds and flavors. But when you do, it's gonna go for 2.5 hours, no problems at all with the Provost. So that's why the Bastard falls to number 2. There are some foiling issues with the white Bastard if you buy them. The surface is really smooth, so until you put a Provost, the foil doesn't really sit tight on this bowl. And now, based on the standard bowls, we have, in my opinion, the thick is the best bowl in the market, just in general. I know we haven't brought up the luxury bowls as of yet, but in my opinion, the thick bowl is just the overall best bowl in the market. Doesn't matter if you're smoking blondes, doesn't matter if you're smoking dark leaves, Tangiers, whatever the case may be. If you pack it on a thick bowl, and you know how to pack and you know what you're doing, you will get a good session out of this, and that's a guarantee. These each run, I believe the Bastard runs about $60 in America, and the thick runs about $70 in America. I know it's a little pricey for bowls that aren't all that aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but coming from me, the price point's worth it. I use these daily, and I have not had to this day an issue with these bowls as of yet. And now let's bring out the luxury bowls that are in the market and see where they stack up. Welcome back, folks. In front of you, we have the Mason Gravel Bowl. We have the Mason Onyx Bowl, and we have a Hazy Silhouette Bowl. Now, the luxury brands that are out there are brands such as Ermin, Relix, Mason, and Hazy. Now, these are the four brands that we consider to be luxury brands here in the hookah market. And let's talk about how these perform. I smoked out of every one of them so far. I'm not the type of collector that just has bowls. I smoke out of everything that I own, and I feel that that's how you truly get the idea of what functional art is supposed to be. So let's start with right here. We have the Mason Onyx Bowl. Now, I've smoked out of this bowl one time since I got it. It's very recent that I've gotten this bowl. And in general, I don't enjoy smoking out of this bowl. I'll be completely honest with you. I feel like there are much better, Lotus bowls out there. Goodfella, even, Ola bowls perform better in my opinion. And, that's not anything bad with the bowl. I've never tried the Onyx bowl with the Provost. I've only tried it with the Lotus because just, the way it's been built. And so I just haven't had an enjoyable session on the Onyx, and to preserve the cleansiness and the quality of the bowl, I probably will not smoke out of it too frequently, just because I've gotten better sessions out of cheaper bowls, more available bowls that are in the market. So Onyx goes back in the collection basket. And now we have 2 left over, and we have the Mason Gravel Bowl, and we have a Hazy Silhouette Bowl. Now, in my opinion, they both perform great. I've smoked out of Mason Gravels as one of my first experiences into what is luxury hookah bowls in the market, and to this day I smoke out of my Mason Gravels. I consider myself a collector of gravels, just because, as I said, I smoke out of the bowls that I collect, and gravels are the only bowls that I've smoken out of from Mason Shisha, mostly to this date. And then we have the Hazy Silhouette Bowl. This is Hazy 143, and in my opinion, of all the luxury bowls that I own personally, I believe Hazy smokes the best, just because the way it's constructed, the interior is very well made, very easy to foil bowl, no grommet issues. And I can smoke both of these bowls can be smoked with a Lotus or Negrani, and with the foil and provos. But if I was to say in luxury standards, which bowl I would smoke out of between these two, I would choose the Hazy, just because of it's a bigger size, a lot easier to foil, a lot easier to pack, and I just feel like it performs a lot better in my opinion. Not saying Mason Gravels are no good. Mason Gravels are still very reputable in the market, and they're still a very legendary bowl, and they're great to collect, and occasionally I'll smoke out of them as well. And now, to end the video, I'm gonna rank what I consider to be the top 5 bowls, at least in my collection. So we're gonna go number 5, Mason Gravel. We're gonna go number 4, Stone Bowl. We're gonna go number 3 with the Bastard Bowl. We're gonna go number 2 with the Hazy Bowl. And as I mentioned previously, in my opinion, thick bowl is the best bowl in the market. You can't go wrong with it. Smokes amazingly, available to the masses. A little pricey, but if you're willing to make a long-term investment, a meaningful investment to smoke in hookah, the thick bowl is the way to go. These are the 5 best bowls in my collection, and please share with me what your thoughts are on these bowls. Do you see me doing something wrong with these bowls that I'm smoking out of, or can I fine-tune the performance of some of these bowls based on certain tweaks and tips that you have as owners of these other bowls? And yeah, thank you for watching. Now that I've showed the bowls, time for me to go pack a bowl. See you guys later.